Okay, so Dr. Eno was here recently, Dr. Eno Tikas, and she made a revelation to us that medical students are not taught in medical school how to treat patients. The reason why we see nurses being courteous is where the school has taken on that the hospitals take on that responsibility to teach them because of class action suits. So yes, they didn't teach you medical school, but when you're working in this facility, you have to be courteous because we don't want to see whereby they sue us. And that's a society where your reputation is based on your credibility. The fact that people come to your facilities because of the credibility, which is an intangible currency.
Yeah.
So that was so profound for me because it's now something we can see here. So a child can be disrespectful. Okay. People can behave, but Michelle Obama told us when they go low, you go high. As a lecturer, there has to be some kind of training that you learn, that you're exposed to, that when these children go low, because they will always do silly stuff. True. But your job is to go higher so that you're teaching them because they're supposed to be reformed in your facility. So in this case, yes, the child could have been disrespectful or do anything wrong. But what is the rule? How does he, as a lecturer who's supposed to be higher, how is he supposed to respond to that? If you respond to her as a child would, give me your phone, or come here to talk to me, like, she will give you that childish response, don't you think?
Of course, that elicited what he got. I believe that, give me your phone, or you open that phone and delete the video, and she doesn't. My school had a school security, so you had the CSO travel around. I was speaker. I was holding a sitting one time, and there was chaos from the opposition. They beat Silly out of my own SSA, my own security guy. They beat him. He's a lawyer now. I hope he's watching. They beat us blue black. So I ran like a crazy person to the security point near the VC's office. That was the only way. I couldn't have overcome those boys. So as a lecturer, you have a CSO's number. Call and say, this particular girl, for what she has done, I want her investigated. I want her phone taken.
And deleted.
And there are ways to handle it. But you could see in the records that followed, pulling at her top as if she was your housemaid that has stolen. You're dragging her around, she's dragging back, or you're dragging her. There was no more civil way, no better way to comport yourself as a lecturer. I don't believe this girl doesn't have the substance of truth to her story just because of the way he comported himself. And some people are good manipulative storytellers. All of a sudden, he comported himself at the end of it all in a video saying, I just wanted her phone so she could delete it. He was just so well put together. And the poor girl was just scattered. She's more mature. She's an immature young girl. Of course, she doesn't have the wealth of wisdom of age that he has against her. That's my personal view. The reason I have that view is because growing up, we grew up in the Southwest. If another tells a lie against you, God help you, you will get away with it. Sometimes they won't even lie. You'll be on your knees while the matter is being addressed. I lived it growing up. If my father didn't return, I never really had justice. I used to wait that if you want to even start my trouble, wait make it reach evening, because that's the only person I will say, oh yeah, until what really happened.
Let me take this call. So let me call from Toyin. Toyin's been holding for a minute. Good morning, Toyin. Thanks for calling. You're live. Hello, Toyin.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I wanted to contribute to the issue of this young lady. Based on the fact that I'm a lady too, so this is not a case of not supporting women. It's a case of the fact that I was like Nima also when I was younger. You touch me, I go at you. I'm very fast at it. I remember slapping a classmate of mine when I was in university. Just because he touched me to be able to just pass his next stage. I didn't even look at his face. I just waved and I just slapped him in the lecture room. And it was so resounding and very loud. That's the way I am with my personal space and my body. But if there's another video, the right time we see the video. The right time we are shown the video. Even if we don't know what happened, it is by the video that we all saw in the social media. The girl was standing in a public space. She was doing a TikTok. And then this man passed, and something happened between them. We saw the insolent look on her face. We all have children. We should stop all of these European kind of things. We have the right to have it. We went to university. I was there. In fact, I had a case with a lecturer that ended up at the dean's place for harassment. I went through my case and I told and I was ready to face it. I wanted to leave the university for this lecturer because I felt, okay, you wanted to have his way with me. And if I was intelligent enough, I should to stand my ground. I wanted to do any examination I wanted to be given. So I went through this course, and I know that it is possible for a lecturer to harass you. If there's another story behind this girl's way of dealing with things, or the way she reacted, we should know the story now. That is about what happened there, and the way she was going at him. That was not a lecturer and a student kind of thing. It was about giving my phone. You should have a bit of respect, please. In a public place, what we saw was serious. They were holding us to a okay, these guys were not there, but the students were not. Was she going to be a lecturer? If they were able to get a video, okay, nobody was there. Was she going to Outburst? We saw her advancing at the lecturer. If the lecturer was still enough to wait at that time, even if they didn't catch him on camera while he was doing it, he was still enough to wait and allow her to do all of those things. Excuse me, she should not only be expelled, she should be rusticated from Nigeria University. We are Africans. We have decorum. We have respect.
Thank you very much. So point
I wanted to quickly complete my analysis again. So she was making a video on a public corridor. Other people had been passing. It wasn't like she obstructed movement because of that video. Look again. I looked at that video at least 6 times before I could conclude on what I wanted to stand. If I didn't read the caption, I would have made of this opinion I have today. So could he have passed further from her and avoided her? Because we are not dealing with young people who don't think the way we think. When I was harassed in school, I was calmless. I was wearing a full-length skirt, and the dean at the time, is dead now, stood and said, "Why are you cleaning the environment with your something?" Obviously, he was biased about my faith. And I stood it all through. I just waited there because I was confused about how my decent dressing is offensive. And so when I was waiting, he called his PA and said, "Give her the form, disciplinary form, now." And so he brought it, and the way I sat down calmly to fill it, the man went in to say to him, "Don't let her fill it." Because all I needed to do was appear before any panel to defend how I was simply saying to myself as I was sitting, I will repeat this dress. But that wisdom is not with these children we see today.
Talking about that, I'll come to Mariam in a second, because I've seen where these young people just gather. And I say, "Please guys, excuse me, move." Because if something can pass through a crowd, I, as an older person or a lecturer, I don't want to squeeze through you guys like sandwiches. I want you to give me space. So maybe that's what happened. Let me come to Mariam.
You were saying that maybe he should have conducted himself differently and he would not have led to this. But also, she's a university student. She's an adult. She should know, she should have common decency. It's not even about being African or anything. It's just common courtesy, respect. Someone is passing and you're in the person's way. Yes, somebody may be able to squeeze in, move around, but somebody tapped you. What I saw, I'm basing it off the first video. The second video is still another matter to discuss. He seemed like he tapped her, showing that he needed to pass. Some people, you look, I've been in spaces where some people will brush past me, and I'm like, look at all the space around you. Why did you have to come? Some people are like that. Some people will tap you to give them space. I'm the sort of person that I'm likely to, excuse you. Excuse me, please. I like space between me and whoever and somebody will say, "You can pass now." They'll look at you like, "There's enough space for you," But I feel like as an adult, she didn't have to know if he was a lecturer or not. She knew from looking at him that he was older than she was. And if he said to her, "Please, let me pass," there was something she said. I don't know if we caught what she said.
Comment.
Yes, and I feel that that's what made him turn back. Whether we like it or we know these young people. I mean, if you're in the university, 19? 18, 19, I'm looking at her. If she's young, she's 18, 19, she should know better, how to deal with an adult. Also, now, having said that, I think what happened is that both of them acted wrongly. He may have allowed himself get to that point because of, first of all, I'm the adult here, and then the ego. You see how sometimes when we talk about parenting and hitting our children, we say that is parenting out of anger. And I feel that that's what he was doing. He was being an adult, insisting on his right, but he allowed the emotion, anger, and his ego get the best of him. And so that's why it degenerated to that point. She should have done better. She would have stopped she could have stopped that thing at any point, recognizing that she was the younger one. There's something my mom used to say to me, you know, when we were growing up. Sometimes when I feel like an adult has done something wrong to me and I was on my right, but because I was on my right, I would want to express myself, sometimes in a very disrespectful manner. And she says, let me give you one wisdom. Nobody is going to listen to what that adult has done to you wrongly. Everybody is going to focus on the fact, on how you acted. So just for wisdom, just for, you know, as you're growing, just to make sure that you get your justice, be careful how you respond. So she should have responded better. The truth is, based on that video that we saw, she deserved to be punished. How long it took for them to get to that point, I feel that was, as I said earlier, it was affected by, you know, public...
Let me take Ade and come to you. Good morning, Ade. Thanks for calling. You're live. Hello? Ade, thanks for calling.
Hello, I can't hear anything.
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Sorry.
Hello, I can hear you clearly. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Mariam. This is my first time calling new studio, so you have to clap.
New studio.
Now, my comment about this issue is this. I stand by Elijah. Elijah have said it all. This can only happen in Nigeria. I'm telling you. Because number one, the lecturer don't have any right to touch that girl.
Wow.
You just speak. Just tell the girl that, oh, excuse me, can I pass? So, and secondly, this guy did not commit murder. She did not do armed robbery. Because he had an argument with a lecturer, then he expelled the lady. It can only happen in Nigeria. So all the money the parents have been paying, you just waste it. What for?
So that's interesting.
She had to bite his hand off her.
What are the grounds for resuscitation?
Whoa.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I know many people may say the way she reacted meant that there was something between them. They may be, they may not be, right? That reaction is a stand-alone based on whatever she was feeling at the time and whatever the lecturer was feeling at that time. There are also witnesses. There were other students there who could have been called you know, during the, I don't know how they did the panel investigation. Yes, they could have called some of those students. They had one. They didn't have witnesses.
It was too swift.
That video we saw now, there were people there.
This week now.
No,
it didn't even get
there were other students in that video now.
So how do
they
you
were not in isolation. They could have called people to, at least somebody would have seen, somebody would have been there admiring somebody doing TikTok video and shaking body. Somebody would have seen something. Except, of course, the students decided not to show up. They don't want wahala, right? But they could have been able to get witnesses. That's one. Two, we are forgetting our school systems. I went to a university in this part of the world. We don't have CCTV cameras to look to. Sometimes students... No, I don't know the school where you go. Okay, when I get CCTV camera, when you go school.
Everywhere.
Okay. When I went to school, I don't know if Unizik has CCTV cameras. Maybe their vice chancellor will come out and tell us whether they have or not. But my point is, sometimes students do things and get away. Lecturers are not able to find them. They don't know your face. They don't have, because in a class we're like over 100 and something. They don't know your face. They don't have your matriculation number, and they lose you. We've had students who have done things that they are looking, lecturer is looking for you. Everybody don't miss. We cover ourselves and nobody shows up. That may be one of the reasons he decided to stand there and get the phone, make sure the video was deleted. If it was a system where anywhere she runs to, we can always go and check the CCTV camera, I don't think he would have done that. And that's why we're also saying we need to equip ourselves in such a way that when things happen, we can easily get evidence without people going physical. It's also a work in progress if we follow the Nigerian system, right? Now, for me, whether they groped you or they tapped you or they pushed you aside, going physical with your lecturer or with any elder is a no-no. You find someone to report to. The Senate is there, the SUG is there. There are people you can report to. You can make a case till that lecturer is punished for it. You can insist on it. You don't have to go physical, right? And also, I would blame parenting in this part of the world. No matter, if it was my daughter that did that, no matter what the lecturer did, you will collect, because that's not how I raised you. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you, like, I had a case that I was settling recently and my son reacted. I don't want to know what they did to you. Your reaction was more important to me because I'm trying to raise a gentleman by all means. and we have always been hammering in his ears. Your reaction is very, very important. You can always report. Your mother is the lioness that will come and fight for you. But I don't want you taking up that fight, because at the end of the day, they will forget what that other person has done. They will forget what the lecturer or the teacher has done. They will hinge on the way you reacted. Okay. And that's a debt on the family name and also you as a person. So that's fighting back, biting, whatever happened is a no, and that should be punished. The lecturer, of course, will have his own punishment for reacting the way he did, but we must not, I don't know how to put this word, reward indiscipline. That's a lot of indiscipline showing in a young girl, and no matter how young you are, there's no excuse for disrespect.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue and wrap up on this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.